मज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति श्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमो वन्दे श्रीगुरो निरतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरे कृष्णा। Hope everyone is doing very well, and thank you for joining Chaitanya Charitamrita class. So, what is that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is that? Give me 1 minute. Yes. So today is very interesting topic. Actually, tomorrow onwards, this Purushottam month is starting, and um, it comes only once in 3 years. And any bhakti we practice, it is equal to we get 1,000 times benefit actually. Navavida bhakti, either one, anything we practice, starting from Shranam Kirtanam to Atmanivedanam, you know, any bhakti you essentially practice during this period will bestow you unlimited mercy actually. So Lord Chaitanya, um, he left Vrindavan and decided to go to Prayag. And decided to go to Prayag, Um, ever since now we have again the introduction of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, and they're actually they're meeting with especially Rupa Goswami and his brother Anupam, meeting with Lord Chaitanya after relinquishing their duties and joining full time. So Lord Chaitanya, if you see, when he traveled in South India or North India or western part of India, Lord Chaitanya, one unique thing is anybody would see Lord Chaitanya chant, and they would be transformed to become Vaishnavas. But if you see, there is no 7 session course, right? So Lord Chaitanya would just infuse their hearts with the love of God and make them Vaishnavas. I was thinking of on this fact because bhakti also, there are so many ways of bhakti in Krishna bhakti also. You know, there are varieties of Krishna Bhakti also. If you go to Vrindavan, there are so many traditions. If you come to actually, if you come to Mayapur, there are so many traditions. What to speak of Vrindavan? Why Lord Chaitanya? I was just thinking of this past 2 3 days. Why Lord Chaitanya? I mean, it's Krishna himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Why there is no? Uh, why did not? Okay, you are becoming a devotee. What about the future generations? The answer is two. One is, as Haridas Thakur would say later, Lord Chaitanya, he wanted to take, even it is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the way Lord Ramchandra took everyone back to Godhead based on the request of Vasudeva Datta. Lord Chaitanya took the entire planet, took everyone back to Godhead actually, all the people on the planet. So that's why he infused their hearts with the love of God, straight. But okay, and Chaitanya Charitamrita says, everyone is taken back to Godhead. But again, there are so many unlimited living entities waiting to come to this world. And again, he refilled, he filled with the living entities, rebellious living entities. He filled this universe with them. But yes, they needed philosophy, right? So Lord Chaitanya is using a Rupa Goswami for that. Wow. Lord Chaitanya is using a Rupa Goswami for that. And Rupa and Sanatana Goswami for that. You know? So Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, after meeting Lord Chaitanya and Ram Keli, they went to their homes, they have decided to join full time, understood this is useless. Anything you do for the body, useless. And anything you do connected to the body, material things, not bhakti, it's also useless. It'll end with the body only, you know. So, one story, not connected to Chaitanya Charitamrita, the king and four wives. It's important. But I'll finish in 3 minutes. King, took very good care of every wife. The fourth wife and king best friends, good friends. Whenever king needed suggestion, she would give. Counseling, she would give. Whenever she needed, king would give. Third wife, he took care of her. As good as good as his body. And second one also, she brought so much money from her home, so she took second wife also very good care. But first wife he always ignored. So anyway, one day king got the information he had a cerebral hemorrhage. And doctors told you only 1 day to live. Do whatever you want to do. Be ready for the final journey. Then king called the fourth wife and said, I am leaving the palace tomorrow. What will you do for me? King, fourth wife, what she did, she uh, took her appointment list. Tomorrow I have a tight schedule. I'm sorry. That's it. I've done a lot for you. I'm leaving and I'll never come back and you can't do anything. All right. She took the pen and she scratched one appointment and said, I'll see you up to, I'll come to the end of the palace and I'll see you off. I'll send you off. That's it. Yes, I'm busy today and tomorrow. She laughed. Wow. King thought this is the one I have given my life to. Third wife came. You know, third wife is the one who brought a lot of wealth from her home. So many things. He asked her, what will you do? I'm leaving tomorrow and I'll never come back. She said, as soon as you leave, I'll find somebody and get married and go. He said, what is this? Yeah, yeah, that's it. She left. Second wife came and said, sorry, I'm better than King asked, what will you do for me? She said, I'm better than them. I'll come up to cremation ground. King said, wow, what is that I have done? I have given my life to these people. One person is coming, she'll come up to the end of the palace and send me up. Another is telling she'll marry somebody and go away. Third one is telling I'll come up to crematorium. That's it, cremation ground. That time also he did not think of the queen, the first queen, first wife. Suddenly she came in. She was hearing this whole conversation. She said, mind your king, I'll come wherever you go. I'll come with you. Wherever you go, I'll come with you. I'll follow you. Then king started crying. I've ignored you throughout my life. And why do you love me so much? She said, that's my duty. He cried like anything. And it cut the story short. Fourth wife means our friends and relatives. Whenever they need help, we do. We when counseling, guidance, we give. Whenever we need, they will do. But that day, and it happens, we see that in India, we don't see that in America. So when the body is taken out to the cremation ground, they will come up to the end of the house, street, end of the house, actually street only, and they'll go to the bus stand or train station to go. Most of the people don't come. That is friends and relatives. Third wave means all the money we earned, all the cars and bungalows, the bank account. As soon as we leave, somebody else will take it. Children, relatives, wife, everyone they take it. That's what is. I'll marry somebody and go. Second wave means we think we are this body. Second wave means body. It'll come up to crematorium and reduce to ashes. Then who is first wife? King is the soul, right? First wife is super soul, Paramatma. Wherever we go, Paramatma accompanies us. But we don't acknowledge his presence. Hare Krishna. Interesting. Huh? Do you agree? Wherever we go, Paramatma, we are Paramatma and we are together all the time. Hare Krishna. So anyway, my point is, um, so that's why we should do what is good for us, the ultimate spiritual life. So what Rupa and Sanatana Goswami they understood we have unlimited money, but what is the use? And Srinivasacharya says they were little like Indra, you know, they were little like Indra. So beautiful, so much power and wealth. They made their homes into replicas of Vrindavan. But when they understood this is not going to come with us, so what they did, they have decided to join full time. 50% they gave to family members. What is that? Sorry. 50% wealth they give in charity to Brahmins and Vaishnavas. 25% they gave it to families and relatives. 25% they kept with themselves for an emergency. Because Rupa Goswami felt there may be complications because they are in high positions. So there may be complications. And what he did, 10,000 gold coins he kept with a crosser. He entrusted it to a Brahman, you know, and he left. He left with his brother Anupam. His name is also Sri Vallabha, the father of Jiva Goswami and brother of Rupa and Sanatan. And you know what they did? They sent two people to Puri. You know, we heard Lord Chaitanya went back to Puri and find out he's planning to go to Vrindavan. You know, when is he planning to go to Vrindavan? Find out. We will, based on that information, we will travel to Prayag and we'll meet them we'll meet him while going or coming. It's fine. But what happened? But Sanatan Goswami, you know, Rupa Goswami left, but Sanatan Goswami could not because of his position. What he did, what he felt, he has this high position. My relationship with Nawab Hussain Shah is very strong. That is not good. You know, if I don't break it, I cannot leave this place because he has so much trust on me. So what he did, um, he applied sick leave and he started reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Vichara, started reading Srimad Bhagavatam in the Association of Devotees. He was discussing Srimad Bhagavatam in the Association of 20 to 30 Brahmins. And 20 to 30 Brahmins and um, what is that? The clerical staff, they have continued. They have they continued working in the office. Anyway, uh, Vedic scriptures are of two types: Paravidya, Aparavidya. Para means spiritual. Spiritual means what? Para, what is Paravidya? Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam. It's Pramanam Amalam. Amalam Puranam. Why? Premapamarto Mahan. It doesn't speak of Purusharthas, Dharmartha Kama Moksha. It speaks of Pancha Purushartha Bhakti, which culminates in Prema. Premapamarto Mahan. That's why Lord Chaitanya asks, what is the religion of Lord Chaitanya? Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Madhavidan Putra Para. But whereas if you see Apara Vidya, what is that? Four Vedas. Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, and Jyotish. You know. So of course you have a body, you live in a home. So you need a proper because you are under material laws. So you need to obey those laws. For that, so Susastra, what is that? Astrology, palmistry, for communication, all this, the different limbs, you know. So Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Niruktam, Chandas, So anyway, one day Nawabu Sensha came, and when he came, everyone got up. Because even though he's a Muslim, he is empowered, he has a position as a Nawab. That is Krishna's. Wherever there is power, that is Krishna's power. We should respect, right? So even if even a lecture, even if somebody actually occupies an executive position, you should know. We should understand they have Krishna's grace, and we should respect that. So immediately Sanatana Goswami and all the Brahmins got up. And what is that? The Nawab said, I sent a physician, doctor to you. And he said, you're absolutely all right. You don't have any ailment, disease. Why are you doing this? Your brother wants to conquer the kingdoms. Who is the brother? Nawab Hussain Shah himself. And your brother is dependent on you because they're very scholarly. You know, the Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic, all the languages. They are from a Karnataka, Saraswat. They are from Karnataka Saraswat Brahmin families. Very scholarly. That's why Nawab Hussain Shah hired them. You know, uh, why are you spoiling my plans? What is your intention? Um, And Sanatana Goswami said, I'm sorry, I cannot work for you. Find somebody in my position. So your elder brother is acting like a plunderer. Because now, actually, now Hussein regularly attack. What is that? Pratavrudra. You know. Uh, so I cannot say regularly, but one time he did. So, so what is that? I know I'm making all these plans, and you're reading my plans. Um, Sanatana Goswami said, "You're supreme ruler of Bengal. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm an ass, but I cannot work for you. You know, so you can punish me." Then immediately he said, "Arrest him." He became angry. Then he said, "I'm going to Orissa. Will you come to conquer Orissa? Will you come with me?" He said, "No. That will cause pain to the Supreme Lord. I cannot do that." Then that's when he said, "Arrest him and put him in prison." And he left. You know. And this is the time Lord Chaitanya, this is the time Lord Chaitanya left for Vrindavan from Puri actually. When when Sanatana Goswami was imprisoned, that's when Lord Chaitanya left for Vrindavan from Puri. Anyway, so what happened? So Rup Goswami wrote a letter to Sanatana Goswami. I left these 10,000 gold coins with this grocer. Utilize it to get out of this, get out of your imprisonment. Then what happened? Rup and Goswami, Rup and Sri Vallabha, the Anupam, the younger brother, they went to Prayag to see Lord. By this time, Lord Chaitanya went to Vrindavan. It's all you have to walk, right? So from Vrindavan, Lord Chaitanya returned to Prayag. So they found out Lord Chaitanya was there. They were very happy. Lord Chaitanya flooded. If you see Prayag means what? Triveni Sangam. The Ganga Yamuna Saraswati meet, right? Of course, Saraswati went underground. We don't see that Saraswati now. But uh, when Lord Chaitanya was there, the for the first time, Prayag was flooded with the love of God. Wow. When Rup and Anupam went to see Lord Chaitanya, they saw Lord Chaitanya was loudly chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was dancing. People with him were also chanting loud, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. So they were all getting inspired. Some people were crying, some people were rolling on the ground, some people were, the tears were cascading from their eyes. We cannot describe. So they were amazed to see the Lord Chaitanya's influence on the people. And the Leela, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Prayaga cannot be described actually. So what happened? Lord Chaitanya made an acquaintance with one South Indian Brahmin, and the Brahmin invited Lord Chaitanya for prasad. And after infusing people, thousands and thousands and thousands of millions of people, nobody knew where they came from. They all came, congregated, and Lord Chaitanya infused them to chant the holy name. They all Hari, 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 Hari. They all got the love of God, and they became ecstatic. Hare Krishna. Transformed. Haribol. Amazing. Then this is done. Lord Chaitanya went to his home for prasad, and Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. Dante Nithaya Pranakam. So what they did, they put a blade of grass in their mouths. I'm sorry, it is pen. Offered from the obeisance from the distance. You know, they were overwhelmed with ecstatic devotion. They offered obeisances. And And then they start reciting exactly, I was thinking, when they start reciting verses and they're all offering obeisances, getting up and they're offering obeisances. Lord Chaitanya was pleased. Who didn't like this? Maharaj Prataprudra. Prataprudra Santrata. Maharaj Prataprudra was so, you know, he would get up and he would say, glorification, he would say verses and glorification of Lord Chaitanya, and he would fall offer obeisance again. you know, uh, and the tears were pouring from the eyes of Maharaj Pratap. Lord Chaitanya's place. Same. So Goswami and Anupam, they started doing this and they were offering with a plate of glass in their mouth. They would offer obeisance, get up and they would recite Namo Mahavadanya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namaha. Maharaj, you're Krishna himself. You're the most beneficent incarnation. What Lord Brahma and Shiva are looking for, you have come to freely give. What are they looking for? Not green card, citizenship, because it's temporary. Recently, one devotee was telling, amazing, and I can't believe, I don't know whether I can tell this or not. Our Rasika Bhu Prabhu was telling, he said, the Ganga from Himalayas, Ganga flows to Bay of Bengal, maybe 2,000 kilometers. The Ganga bank, this side and this side, how many sand grains are there? That many times we are married and we have families. I never thought of this. You know, so we have proposal, we have everything, family, my mother, father, family, children, everything. What we don't have is Krishna. I told Bhakti Swami, give one lifetime to Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, Rupa Goswami, what is that? Prema, Krishna, Krishna Chaitanya, Namne, Gauratisya Namaha. So you are Krishna himself, and you have come to give this ultimate gift. You want to bestow this ultimate reward, give the gift to the entire humanity. Krishna Prema. Yayam sada parivagna vishtadoham dirdaspradam siva virinchi notam saranyam. Vrityardhyam pranadapalabhavdipotam mande mahapurushati charanarvindam. So what Lord Shiva and Brahma are looking for, you'll come and freely give. What is your qualification? The more you're fallen, the more you're qualified. Hare Krishna. Patra Patra Deki Sthana Sthana. So Lord Chaitanya would not see qualification. Why Prabhupada came to America, especially New York, the forest fire of metal existence. Why he came from Vrindavan? Vrindavan, which place? Radha Damodar temple 2 miles from, just 2 kilometers from Rasasthali, Vamsivat, Savakunj. That is, that's how Lord Chaitanya. Where there are more fallen people, there are more mercy flows. Hare Krishna. यज्ञानमत्तं भुवनं दयालोर उल्लाघयन् अपि ककरोत् प्रमत्तं स्वप्रेम संपत् सुदयाद्भुतेहं श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य मम प्रपद्ये. He has converted the three worlds which are mad and ignorance. What is metal world means what? Tamoguna, ignorance. I have seen my grandfather departed, my father departed, my great grandfather departed. I am ready to depart. Still, purposes we are willing to enjoy. Hare Krishna. The people are mad. That tamogun means what? No spiritual life, but working for the body only. And Ullagi and Abhyagarot Pramutam. Sorry. Saved them from their decision condition. So what the Lord Chaitanya did? He saved them. Excuse me. They're already mad in ignorance, but he made them mad with the love of God. Hare Krishna. You know, with the nectar from the treasure house of love of God. Supreme Sampad, Sudaya Advute. Suprema. Krishna is the repository, storehouse, treasure house. What he did, he gave it. Huh? So, and what he did, he distributed it freely to that Lord Chaitanya for my obeisances. Hare Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya said, what is the news? So, what is the news? Uh, Rupa Goswami said Sanatana Goswami has been arrested by now Hussein Shah, and if you kindly save him, he'll be liberated. Lord Chaitanya said, Sanatana Goswami is already released. Very soon he'll meet me. He'll meet with me. Oh, wow. Very interesting. So, so what happened? Balbhadra Bhattacharya, the Brahman asked Balbhadra Bhattacharya to cook lunch for Lord Chaitanya, and after Lord Chaitanya ate, the remnants were given to Rupa and Anupam. Then Vallabha Bhatta came. Adaila Gram. Vallabha Bhatta is actually Pushti Marg Acharya, you know. So he came and Lord Chaitanya embraced and they started discussing Krishna Katha. And he saw Lord Chaitanya's, uh, as they were discussing Krishna Katha, Lord Chaitanya was becoming ecstatic. And that love of God was flooding in him. And Vallabhata saw that, like, wow, amazing. You know, uh, then he detected that he was astonished and invited Lord Chaitanya to come to his home and take prasad. You know, so uh, then Lord Chaitanya, this is Rupa and Sanatan. When Vallabhata went to embrace them, they said, "No, no, we are fallen. We are very, very untouchable. We are very sinful. Please do not touch us." Vallabhata was surprised. We are very fallen. We are sinful. Don't touch us. But Lord Chaitanya was very pleased. Wow. So he told Vallabhata, "Don't touch them. They're actually you are a very uh, you're a Brahmana, Vaidika Brahmana, and you're very well versed in Shastras, you know, and you're from a very aristocratic family. So what is that? Then Vallabhata praised the brothers, quoting a verse. Oh, oh, but a swapachado gariyan. Yajjihvagre vartate nama tubhyam. Tepus tapaste juhu susnurarya. Manucharanam grannantiyate. You know? So what is that? A person who vibrates the holy name on his tongue, even if he is from the family of dog eaters, he is considered most exalted because he is chanting the holy name all the time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Because he is chanting, even if he is from a dog eater family, he is considered very exalted. Yet Jehovah, Jehovah, on the top of whose tongue the whole name is being vibrated, even wherever they are from, they are considered very exalted. Wow. That is the conclusion given in Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto. Right? You know, that type of people are they are greater than an initiated Brahmana. Hare Krishna. You know, Hari Bhakti Suddhodaya says, Suchi Sadbhakti Deepagni Dagda Durjati Kalmasha Swapakopi Buddha Slagyo Namedagnopi Nashtika. One who is purified due to bhakti, which is like blazing fire that burns to ashes all the sinful reactions of low birth, all the born in the family of dog eaters, is considered recognized, is all the born of dog eaters, but they are considered very advanced. But somebody who has a lot of knowledge, but no bhakti, he is atheist. Hare Krishna. And there is a wonderful verse from Hari Bhakti Suddhodaya. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jadi Sastram Japastapa apranasya apranasya dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. So those who don't have bhakti, high birth, scriptural knowledge, austerities, mantra chanting, they're like ornaments of dead body. So if you have ornaments and dead body, what is the use? Zero. That's why bhakti is not there. When bhakti is there, other things have value. Bhakti is not there, other things don't have any value. Right? So anyway, um, Vallabhatta was very astonished to see Lord Chaitanya's beauty, his quoting of Shastras, his knowledge, and his Mahabhava, the love of God, just flooding in him. Wow. So what happened? He invited Lord Chaitanya to his home. My Lord, please come for prasad. And to go to Adaila Gram, you have to take a boat. And what they did a mistake. What is that mistake? They took Lord Chaitanya on the boat to cross the river Yamuna. You know, Yamuna. Yamuna means what? Yamuna, what is it? She has the color of Krishna. She's blackish in complexion. When Lord Chaitanya saw Yamuna, Lord Chaitanya became ecstatic and jumped in Yamuna. Everyone was alerted and everybody jumped. Yamuna is not like a swimming pool, 3 feet water, right? This is Yamuna river. And everybody jumped and rescued him. And they brought Lord Chaitanya in the boat. Lord Chaitanya, that, what is that? Divyan Madam. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? It was dancing, dancing, dancing. And because of Lord Chaitanya's weight, the water started coming into the boat. At any time, boat will sink. And nobody could stop him. Vallabhatta was, wow, amazing. You know? And Lord Chaitanya was trying to stop himself because he knew he was in front of other people in it. But finally, he controlled himself. And then what happened, the boat reached. Uh, the boat reached the Adaila Gram. And, so what he received Lord Chaitanya nicely, he washed his feet. He washed his feet and sprinkled that water all over all the family members. And you know they received him with a great pomp and enthusiasm, actually. He offered arati, incense and flowers, everything he did it. Then Lord Chaitanya took lunch and Vallabhacharya massaged the feet of Lord Chaitanya, got the dust from Lord Chaitanya, actually. you know so they Dhruv and Anupam got the remnants. And Lord Chaitanya took rest. Then he started massaging. Lord Chaitanya said, no, go and take prasad. So he went to prasad, then he came back and he started massaging the feet. Then what happened? One person by name Raghupati Upadhyay came. Raghupati Upadhyay came. He was a scholar from local, Tiruhita district. And um, and Lord Chaitanya blessed him, Krishne Matirastu. What he did? May you be Krishna conscious. And Lord Chaitanya was so happy to hear his conclusions of scriptures. People may worship, Vedic literatures, Shrutis. Some people worship Shruti, other books like Mahabharata. But I'll worship only one person, Nanda Maharaj, on whose court Supreme Lord, he is the Parabrahman, is playing like an ordinary child. Wow. Lord Chaitanya was so happy, you know. So Lord Chaitanya told Raghupati Upadhyay to continue speaking. He continued. And as he was speaking, the Lord Chaitanya's body started elongating. You know, we see that a lot in Antyalila. You know, Elongating means what? The body becomes stretched and he would become ecstatic. Raghupati Padya saw that. Wow. No ordinary person can exhibit this. Only Krishna. So, anyway, you know, uh, uh, his mind and body slackened. And that's when Raghupati Padya concluded, wow, this is not possible for any human being. So anyway, what happened? He asked, who is the foremost human being? Which form of Krishna is foremost? Sham Sundar. Samam eva param rupam. Of all the abodes, which is the best of him? Which is the best abode of Krishna? Mathura. Puri Madhupuri Vara. So Mathura, what is the best stage of Krishna? Balya Pauganda Kaishwara. Kaishwara, youthful. What is the best mellow? Conjugal love. Conjugal love is the best. So Lord Chaitanya said, your conclusions are the best, ultimate. You know. So Lord Chaitanya embraced Raghupati Upadhyaya and he was overwhelmed. Raghupati Upadhyaya was overwhelmed and he started dancing. You know. So Vallabh Bhatta, he was, amazed to see Lord Chaitanya and Raghupati Upadhyaya dance. I mean, and so he brought his two sons and made them fall at the feet of Lord Chaitanya. I mean, so then so many villagers came to see Lord Chaitanya in Adaila Gram. So many people came, and just by his darshan, they all became devotees. And all the Brahmins, then everyone started saying, please come to our home, please come to our. But Vallabha said, no, 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 no. While coming, he jumped in river Yamuna, so we should drop him back. Um, so what he did this time, while going back, he did not take him on Yamuna, he took him on Ganga. You know, so he took him on Ganga. So the point is only one thing. Prabhupada always would say recently Lord Chaitanya appeared. 500 years for Prabhupada is recent. Why? In the eternity of uh, trillions and trillions and quadrillions of these many years, what is 500 years? Right? So, what is that? What is that? Rupa Goswami, Lord Chaitanya bestowed mercy on Rupa Goswami. Krishna Shakti vina tarana hi pravarta, parivartana. So without Krishna kripa, we cannot transform anybody. So we need that empowerment, you know. So Lord Chaitanya uh, instructed Rupa Goswami on the bank of Dashashwamedha Ghat for 10 days. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva Pranta, Bhagavad Siddhanta, all conclusions. He heard from Ramanandra everything he told. Sri Rupa Hridaya Prabhu Sakti Sancharila Sarvatattva Nirupane Pravina Karila. So what he did? So he entered the heart of Rupa Goswami. He entered the heart of Rupa Goswami and he empowered Rupa Goswami with all these esoteric truths, Siddhanta. You know, he made him a he made him an experienced devotee whose decisions correctly agreed with parampara. That's the thing. You know. So what is Rupa Goswami's exaltedness? He is a dear friend of Sarudhara Goswami. And he is also very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Priya Swarupe, Dayita Swarupe, Prema Swarupe Sahajavirupe. Is actually because he was empowered by Lord Chaitanya, he was naturally beautiful. And Nija Rupe Prabhu Ekarupe, Tadana Rupe Swa Vilasa Rupe. He carefully followed the principles enunciated by Lord. Lord Chaitanya expanded his mercy on him to write transcendental literature. The Lord Chaitanya was always jump up and down dancing. But you need to know Siddhanta to become a devotee, right? But especially for future generations. Otherwise, if you think bhakti is only jumping and dancing, one lecture I heard, Gaurang Prabhu said will end up in orthopedic ward. So we need to understand bhakti as a scripture. To become a doctor, you need to study 12 to 14 years, right? We need to study bhakti like that. Then only we become pravina, right? We become an experienced devotee by studying the scriptures. You know. So, what are the qualities of Rupa and Sanatan? Why they are empowered to that much extent? So, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami were the objects of love and honor, Krupa Gaurava Patra. So they one qualification, they became a they became a, so they were empowered by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya gave mercy. One time one devotee asked His Holiness Radhana Swami, Maharaj, when we come to know about the standard of gopis, it's very depressing because we can never attain it, that stage. So they're telling, Brahma doesn't know, he created eyelids. For that reason, we cannot see Krishna that blink of an eye. Our gopis want to go to hell eternally to relieve Krishna's headache. We'll not have. So Radhana Swami said, yes, you can never attain that state because they attained that state because of Krishna's mercy. But we should know that is the level to that extent you can reach. So we follow, we don't imitate. And we should try sincerely. What is their qualification? Strong desire to only serve. You know? So when somebody would come from Vrindavan, people would ask, how is Rupa and Sanatan? And they would tell the qualities. Aniketa. Can you imagine their finance minister and prime minister? Now, no Niketa, no residence. They would stay under one tree every day. Next day they would go to another tree. Vrindavan also becomes cold in December, January. Freezing cold, right? Hare Krishna. And Madhukari. From Brahmanas, they would beg dry rotis and chickpeas, and they would eat. And 24 hours Krishna Bhajana. Wow. Always chant Krishna's names. Means not 24 hours. They would sleep 1.5 hours. Wow. Only 1.5 hours. Somebody said recently, Bhaktichara Swami would sleep at, sleep only 2 hours. Baapre. Amazing. You know. And what does they do? Bhakti Rasa Sastra. They continuously write the literatures of Bhakti. And Chintana. They hear about Lord Chaitanya and they think of him constantly. And no wonder devotees would say, what is the wonder? Because they got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Lord Chaitanya mentions this in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Mangalacharan prayers. You know, what is that? Although I am the lowest of men and have no knowledge, the inspiration to write Bhakti literature has been mercifully bestowed upon me. Therefore, I am offering my obeisance at the Supreme Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, who has given me this chance. Goswami mentioned this in Mangalacharan prayers of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You all should know all the Vaishnavas, different sampradayas also. They all agree unanimously. There is no book like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. To the heights, there is nothing higher than Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Everyone says, what is that? Prema. First of all, Ramananda told Lord Chaitanya, my Lord, nobody ever has ever asked to go beyond this. You're telling. Lord Chaitanya says, yes, go forward. Yehi Vashya. This external, go forward. So Ramananda described further, further. You know, and after Prema Pumardhaman, okay, sometimes okay, Prema, but there are 16 more levels above Prema. 16 more levels above Prema. Where are we? Anartha Nivritti only. Same greed, same lust, same anger, same envy, same pride. When will we reach Nishta? When will we reach Ruchi? When will we reach Asakti? Then we'll reach Bhava, Sai Bhava, Prema. And above Prema, there are 16 more levels. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is nothing higher than a Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Sri Sampradaya people also exist. This book, wow, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And Jiva Goswami literatures, Shat Sandarbhas. There is nothing equal to, there is nothing in parallel, nothing equal to Jiva Goswami Shat Sandarbhas. Amazing, right? So anyway, man, the point is, what is that? You know, um, so Lord Chaitanya instructed Rupa Goswami for 10 days. And he said, Bhakti is like a shoreless ocean. What is that? Bhakti is like a shoreless ocean. It cannot be described. But what I'll do, I'll take one drop. Paraspara Sunya Gabira Bhakti Rasa Sindhu Tomaya Chakaite Tarakahi Eka Bindu. So what I'll do, I'll take one drop and I'll describe. You know, I'll drop, I'll do, I'll take one drop and I'll describe it. so, so what is that? So we may be chanting, we may be doing it, but Krishna has to see your sincerity. Krishna has to appreciate sincerity, and Krishna has to bestow. You know, then only we'll be able to spread the message. Very important. Then only we'll be able to spread the message. At least, then only you'll be able to understand the conclusion. Spreading the message is different. Later, to understand the conclusions, we need mercy. Otherwise, we cannot understand. So, what is needed? Sadhana is needed. But, Trinadapi Sunichina. I don't have it. But if you apply, you'll get mercy. Tarorapi Saishnu. If you see, actually, I'm just reading Manas section nowadays. There is a trend. If you see Sikshashtakam, first four verses, the first verse qualities of the holy name, the eight benedictions. Then second verse, I'm good for nothing. Even though the holy name is great, I can't. Thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. First one is thesis. Okay, holy name this. You'll get eight perfections. You know, it'll cleanse your heart. It'll end the forest fire of mental existence. All these things. Shrey Karo Chandrika. But then, so what is the next second one? Antithesis. Despite all these great values, holy name offers. Great qualities, holy name offers. Durdaivam, no taste for the antithesis. Then solution, no problem. What is solution? Trinadapisanacha. You chant the holy name in the humble state of mind. Humbler than blade of grass, more talent than tree, not expecting respect, you respect everyone. Then Kirtaniya Sadahari. You'll chant the Krishna's name all the time. Krishna will be dancing on your tongue. He'll not leave you. Right now, when will we rounds finish? Stop. Ah, thank you. Why? Impurities. Conditioning. Right? So, then what next? Then Nathanam Najanam. Then I thought, why third is why fourth verse should be third and third verse should be fourth? No. Without Trunada Visunichena, we cannot give up Dhanam and Janam, attachment for Dhanam and Janam and Sundari. So first two four verses, you know, what we should, from our side, what we should do so that we can go to the next level. Like Yoga Ruksha and Yoga Roda, stage of yoga. Neophyte stage, advanced stage. So here what happens? Then what happens? Then Yugayitam Nimeshena, separation. So next verses, they will take you. Sunyayitam Jagatsaram, Govinda. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram. Hey, if you do these things, you'll get those things. Same thing. Raghunath Das Goswami is exposing you to all the impurities. Then, if you give up all these impurities, Bhakti Devi will enter in your heart, sir. Then what happens? Ma'am, what happens? Then, following the, the Sishtashtakam way, then the different levels. What will happen? How will the reciprocation come? Amazing. Right? So, uh, so we'll discuss next week little philosophical, but it's important because it is connected to us. What did Lord Chaitanya discuss? Prabhu Goswami. We'll try to simplify. I'll try to simplify as simplify as possible, but let us discuss that. Because our philosophy is all given by Lord Chaitanya only, right? So, and based on what Lord Chaitanya told, Rupa Goswami wrote that. So my request to all of you, you know, we should consider ourselves fortunate to have joined this movement and genuinely increase our sadhana and with humility. Initially many times I said, right? What is that? Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, what is that? I'm a worm in the stool. What a humility, Bhapre. No, humility. When we understand humility is not to think of oneself less, not to think less of oneself, but to think oneself less. So don't think less of yourself, but think yourself less. आपके बारे में कम सोचो. That is a humility. No, I'm very fallen, I'm very fallen, I'm very fallen. No, no need. uh, One time one person went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Sometimes, in the, we want to, nobody can reform me. People, they all compete to become the class first. But there will be some more. I am class last. Prabhupada saw that. You know what Prabhupada did? You are not least anything. You are insignificant. Prabhupada said that. You know? So in that negativity, he's going so extreme. He's telling nobody can reform me. I'm the most fallen. Prabhupada said, you are not most anything. You are insignificant. 10 power minus for tip of the hair. Hare Krishna. So if you understand this, what is that verse? The time is running out. Every sunrise and every sunset, we are one day closer to our last day. But the person who has dedicated his life to propagate In Krishna's soul, Nama Rupa Guna Leela, Tasyarthi Takshana Uttama Shloka Vartayat. He is one day closer to Krishna, one day closer to eternity. Right? So let us end it here. And we'll continue the preaching based on Lord Chaitanya's instructions of what Rupa Goswami has written, what Lord Chaitanya has discussed, we'll discuss next week. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Excuse me if I've spoken anything wrong as your humble servant. Grateful for your patient audience. Dandavad Haribol. I'm ending now.